Hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Just
Yeah,
let
we
me
both will just use this time to adjust the camera because we didn't know. I didn't know if I'm going to come on top or come niche, and then accordingly I could adjust. But yeah, I think we're good.
yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for doing this, and thank you so much for agreeing to meet at such a short notice. But it's so good to have somebody specifically from your space, and I wanted to communicate more and more with people out there who are helping individuals get better in a holistic way and not just work on specific things. And I came across your profile and I spoke to one of my team members and I was like, we have to try to get her if she's interested and she would like to speak over here. And
Hmm.
great for those people who don't know who you are and what you do. I'm just going to give a small introduction or sort, but I would want you to still take the charge and take the lead and continue the conversation. But yeah, for those who don't know who you are, well, that's Coach Pallavi. She's a intimacy and sexual wellness coach, and she's been featured in different places like BBC, Vogue, even HuffPost, and The Vice, right? Uh, and you help couples navigate through intimacy issues, which is such a brilliant thing because I feel that if there are intimacy issues between a spouse and your better half, that would trickle down into every other aspect of your life, whether it's your physical health, your professional life, uh, relationships at different places or networks. So what you do is phenomenal, and I'm sure that you've come across multiple cases where you help people not only flourish with their intimacy, but that's also help them flourish in other aspects of life.
Yeah,
Great. So,
Pratik.
but yeah, please go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do and why you do it.
Yeah. So I talk about the most tabooed subject, and yet one of the important parts of life. Um, like मजाक में लोग कहते हैं इंडिया इतनी बड़ी कंट्री ऐसी नहीं हो गई, which means people are having sex, whether they are having pleasurable sex or just sex, we don't know, but yes, people are having it and loads and bounds, and yet no one is talking about it. Like you pretend that it does not exist. And then there are so many problems. I think my journey started with my own problem of being sexually objectified, and then being in a sexless marriage, and I would not even realize that it's because I don't have education. So I started learning about it, and then I realized, oh my god, there is so much of lack of education. And then what, people kept me going. Like when I started Instagram and I started online content, a lot of people reached out to me with their problems, and then I was like, oh my god, is it so, are there so many issues? No one talks about it. So that kept me going, because still till today, every day I get like 30-40 inquiries on my DM. So
What are
it's like,
you
yes, there is a
saying? 30, 40 a day. That's brilliant.
Hmm. That's less, because my reach is like, I'm just talking about organic reach. I'm sure so many people are going through this problem.
Yeah, but then I think it's going to compound, right? I mean, that's how that's the power of social media, right? I mean, you will get in touch with those 30 people, and they in turn will spread the message out that there is this person who can help you out in case if you're anybody is facing some issue like that. So that's how
Yeah.
the interest level compound, and you.
Hmm.
It's great. What inspired you to pick this subject up? Like, I mean, you did mention a couple of things earlier, but what was like the key driving factor for you to take up this topic?
I think it's people. I still remember the one of the first queries I got, trigger warning. I'm going to mention suicide. But this was like late in the night. This woman reached out and she said, Pallavi, I'm going through so much of guilt. I slept with my best friend, and I'm a married woman. And there is no emotional connect between me and my husband. Now I'm going through a lot of guilt of why I've done. I'm feeling suicidal. So I think that just also shook me, like there is so much complexity. You get into a marriage with a lot of hope and lot of desire, and then it turns out to be like this. And I know so many couples who are in sexless marriages. In fact, recently I'm doing this feature with one of the media publications on why married people are on dating apps. And so many married people reached out to me. They for some of them it's like the spouse is too old fashioned. The spouse likes just simple vanilla duty bound sex, whereas they are looking for just one man.
Excitement
He said,
or
uh,
something
they,
different?
yeah, the one man, he said that he said that my wife is not ready to receive oral sex. So he's on a dating app just because he wants to do oral sex with a woman. He wants to perform oral sex on a woman, and his wife thinks it's dirty. So it's not just about preference. It's about they can't talk. It's like a no bound topic. No, don't talk. At least you're able to talk. Understand. At least she can let him touch. Her. So there are a lot of things. So one is that experimentation. The sex becomes boring after a certain time in marriage because either one person gets disinterested or it just becomes like a duty or it becomes like a task. So सेक्स बिकम्स बोरिंग और सेक्स इज नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट सेक्स ही नहीं हो रहा है तो वो भी केस है कि सेक्स भी नहीं हो रहा है सेक्स अच्छा नहीं है इट्स डिससैटिस्फाइंग so I personally feel that there is so much that today I just tell you I was shooting a reel so I read a lot so there is it's even about how you can take off your top taking off a top which we call as a striptease is an art couples they don't know so there is so much of knowledge that can just spice up bedrooms and I'm so excited to do like I say oh wow taking off a top also has an art like it's an art to take off your top it's not like this you take it out you cross your hands and then you so this crossing the hands is like it's the act of seduction that when you are taking off your top rather than doing this if you cross your hands and you do it it's more alluring it's more enticing no one talks about this so
wow. That's pretty detailed, but that's so insightful. I mean, things like that, minute details like that, makes such a big difference and can make the monotonous very novel and new. But how, so did like you mentioned a little bit about your personal journey. Would you want to share a little bit about that? Like you said that there was a part of your personal journey that also kind of pushed you or kind of pursued you to take this up.
yeah, okay. Personal journey. I tell you something. There was a period in my life. In fact, it is one of the turning points of my life. I was already in the mid of divorce. Like I was separated, but I was not divorced. And
Okay.
there was a married man who kind of hit on me, and I was also vulnerable. So I also kind of yielded in, and we had a short-term steamy affair. And then he ghosted me. So because I wanted a commitment and I didn't realize that, okay, I did not know these terminologies. Like now I know casual sex, situationship, but then back then I did not know all of it. So I was into that expectation that, okay, it will be turning into a love. And all of that is unsaid. I did not even express. But then now the things have happened and the problem was there were we three of us, his wife, me, and him. We all were mutual connections. So I was in good terms with his wife also. So 2-3 years down the line, I disclosed this that this is what happened to me, and she said, "I what if you had given him a bait? What if you baited him? Whether he responded or not is not the problem." And I was shocked in terms of that being slut shamed in terms of I giving him the bait. It's so I realized that somewhere we feel that there is no ethical sexual behavior in terms of I did not know my boundaries. Why I went into even yesterday I got I thought it's not happening. Yesterday I got a query from this woman. She said that people are just interested in sleeping on dating apps. No one is so there is so much. Okay, you want to have casual sex, go about it, but be clear and be respectful. The moment you know that the other person is not up for casual sex, don't unswipe, don't ghost, close it properly. The other person is a human.
Absolutely.
So people don't know how to even close a conversation. Casual sex is okay. Two consenting adults want it, it's okay. But then you know what? We give hints. We don't even tell it. Because we think किसी ने मुझे बोला अगर किसी लड़की को सीधा के बोल दो तो उसको बुरा लग जाएगा. तो ये चीज हमने तो इतने सारी जो चीजें आई थिंक वी नीड टू ओपनली टॉक अबाउट इट बिकॉज देयर आर रिpercussions. So because I did not talk about I suffered repercussion. Had I known my boundaries, I would have clearly asked, okay, what are you looking for? Are you looking for casual sex? No, I'm looking for committed sex. So it's a mismatch. It's not a match. But मैं भी चुप थी, मैं भी assume कर रही थी और वो भी चुप था तो फिर हो गया problem.
But it's so important, like for something which is such a powerful aspect of our life, right? I mean, I think the sexual energy that you possess is extremely powerful and a very pious form of energy. And if you have a lot of uncommunicated things around it, it can build up internally, right? So whether it's casual sex or whether it's committed sex, like how you rightly put it, as long as it's communicated in a clear way that this is what we want, and I think people are very fearful about communicating their needs or their wants from life, right? So if they won't be fearful and if they can just represent what they are expecting, then they're most likely going to find that specific person also, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what that is what I had up till last year. I mean, more than a year back, but yeah, still in 2023, you're talking about it's July. So yeah, 2023. Before I got married, I was dating this guy I met on a dating app, and again, it was so unsaid. I clearly mentioned that I'm looking for a long-term relationship. You know, people don't read the bios, so there is a lot of problems. So I do feel that yes, open conversation, but इतना टैबू है कि लोग बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो जब लोग खुलेंगे तो उनके लिए आसान है. अब जैसे आपको कौन सी सब्जी पसंद नहीं है, आप मुझे बताओ. What सब्जी you don't like? Is there any सब्जी you don't like?
uh, there was a time I didn't like Karela, but that was long
मैं
gone
सोच
away.
रही थी, मुझे लग रहा था करेला ही पसंद नहीं होगा आपको. मेरे दिमाग में करेला ही आया था. तो
But
मैं प्रतीक आपको बोल रही हूँ. ओके.
am I reminding you of a Karela?
No, no, no. It's like typically it's the most popular answer when people don't like it's
Yeah.
Karela.
But I like
So
it now. There was a time पसंद नहीं था, but अब तो बहुत पसंद है मुझे.
हाँ, तो चलो if we rewind and go back to the time when you don't like Karela and say Pratik, I have got a lot of Karela, have it. So you can say, hey, I don't like Karela. So I will not feel
Yeah.
offended, you will not feel offended. लेकिन अब मैंने तुमको करेला ऑफर किया और मैं तुमको जानती हूँ और तुमको लग रहा है यार पल्लवी के लिए खा लेते हैं, अंदर ही अंदर आप वो कर रहे हो. हम यही सेक्स के साथ कर रहे हैं ना.
True. That's true, and that's why I said that it's something so important that you can like be clear about it, and that also can improve your emotional health and wellness health, emotional health and mental health. But tell me, ma'am, do you also work with their specific health activity, their workouts or their diets? How important is that for this aspect that you're coaching?
Yeah, so um, I do definitely in terms of health. Of course, I'm not a nutritionist, but I tell them basics that try to include as much natural foods in your diet. Natural foods, मतलब processed foods कम खाओ. Natural food, raw food like fruits, veggies, include water. Because आप जो consume कर रहे हो वही आप if you're consuming all the processed foods, say then you that will be how your body will be like. So what you're ingesting is what you are.
Correct.
Secondly, I do a lot of body movement activities. I teach people to unlock shame. Shame gets so much locked in our systems that हम इतना बहुत ही there is an activity that I do in my workshop. So I make pairs and I say, okay, you have to seduce this person without touching it, which means you will do all that. You will make all those gestures too. But I see so even women, they're like inhibited. Men, because there is so much of a war, like, oh, it's a man, it's a woman, they say हम अपने partner के साथ करेंगे. So I feel it's a playfulness. Playfulness that I'm teasing. I'm kind of I'm just being in my feminine. What is seduction? Seduction is just you celebrating yourself, celebrating your feminine. But seduction means कि अच्छा मैं तो तुम पे वो कर रही हूँ, क्या कहती हूँ, डोरे डाल रही हूँ. Lot of these negative terms have got associated with something which is such a I will say such a powerful, I will say art, which is seduction. Seemanand ne kitab likhi hai, the art of seduction.
Yep.
So even seduction is so misappropriated. So I do teach people how to seduce the other person, how to seduce yourself, how to bring more juiciness in your bodies by movement, breath, expression, talk about sex. So yeah.
Interesting. So, like in a day, like what does your practice involve? Like, if you don't mind sharing, like what is your typical day involved? Like, do you also have a specific routine that okay, this is how you ensure that you are not only healthy as an individual, but at the same time practicing things to improve your sexual wellness and your overall practice?
Yes, I do yoga. I
Okay.
regularly make sure that I have a mix of workouts. Mix of workouts means I don't rely on one certain workout, but I bring more, like creativity, mixing and matching workouts. Like sometimes I do swimming, sometimes I do yoga, sometimes, but most important of all, I make sure to move my body. Moving means doesn't mean like left, right, set. मतलब ऐसे step नहीं जाना है क्योंकि वो जो वाला workout है वो masculine workout है. Pilates, dance, all of these are masculine workout because they follow a certain order. Being a woman, you need to be moving more fluidly. More fluid movements. उसमें कोई आकार प्रकार नहीं हुआ है कि मेरे को ऐसे दिखना है, मेरे को ऐसे होना है. मैं फ्री फ्लोइंग मूव कर रही हूँ उसमें. कभी मैं हवा की तरह मूव कर रही हूँ, कभी मैं पानी की तरह मूव कर रही हूँ. So these movement is something I tell them. Also, I tell them keep more space to your bodies. We all have been conditioned to strive for a perfect body. अगर हमारा perfect body नहीं है, तो हम ऑफिस में क्या करते हैं, जब ऑफिस में बैठते हैं बहुत क्लेंच्ड हो जाते हैं. हमारा जो वर्किंग सिस्टम है, जब हम एक चेयर पे बैठ रहे हैं, एक सिस्टम पे काम कर रहे हैं, यू आर क्लेंचिंग योर बॉडी टू फिट इनटू दैट सेटअप. बट in bed you need more openness your body. So I tell them you need to unclench because अभी 10 घंटे आपने बॉडी क्लेंच करके आप काम कर रहे थे. Now you have to relax. So people don't know. I say relax your shoulders, relax your belly, relax your neck, relax your head, relax your legs. So I tell them loosen up, loosen up, loosen up. So you're holding so much of tension throughout the day.
So wouldn't you say that it's important for people after they come back home to unwind or have something like a routine so that they also open up? Because let's say that somebody works a 9 to 5 and is like really stressed out at work because of the managers or bosses, and they come back home, they carry that energy and then they come with that entire stiffness. So is there a routine that you could probably mention or specify for them?
Yeah, so routine again, I will say is um, taking care of, see, it does not require a lot of, I will say, change in your lifestyle in terms of, yes, it does require a change lifestyle. Like, if a lot of people, the focus is money, the focus is growth in work, which is good. But then you also have to focus. Yeah, but you also have to focus on your sex life. लोगों को लगता है कि इंटीमेसी रिलेशनशिप सेक्स ये तो अपने आप ही हो जाना है. नो वे. यू नीड टू मेक एन एफर्ट एंड यू नीड टू मेक एन इक्वल एफर्ट. जितना एफर्ट आप अपनी जॉब में डाल रहे हो उतना एफर्ट आपको अपनी रिलेशनशिप और सेक्स लाइफ में भी डालना हो. So that's what I help in that mindset change, that start taking it seriously. Do things that you feel sexy about. That sexiness is the people think sex is just that one release, one
it's all
one
centered
release. It's
towards
about
the orgasm. Like it's not. It's always directed towards the orgasm, not the entire process, which is what you actually enjoy, which is what you actually celebrate, right? So people usually focus on the climax versus focusing on the entire act of love.
Someone asked this question: does free flow dance help? Free flow. When I say dance, what do you mean by dance? I mean what I'm talking about is non-linear movement, a movement which does not have a set pattern. You are just moving. You are not pleasing other person. You are not moving to please other person. It's moving for yourself and moving in a non-linear way. So yeah.
Lovely, lovely. So, would you give any specific advice to like couples, because that's happening a lot nowadays, and I do consult a lot of people, and quite a few have that issue where because they are working in such either busy lives or high pressure or high stress environments with their work, or they pack on more stress with their work or life, they end up getting really, really stressed, and then the bedroom takes a toll. Is there something from a hygiene perspective that you can tell our viewers so that they can incorporate it and see some benefits?
Yeah. So people who are having busy lives, I tell them that be more sensually awakened. Sensual awakened means, मैं example दे रही हूँ, जैसे कि हम पूरे time मेरे पास laptop है, so I can give like all the time your fingers on these keyboard. So it can be the phone where your fingers are on the phone screen or it's on the keyboard. Now what is happening is most of the day your fingers are touching non-living objects. Okay. So you don't even realize when you are losing that emotion from your fingers. So when you are touching another body, you are also treating them as a non-living object. You are treating them as a laptop without knowing. Because all the time you're practicing your hands on laptop and phone screen. So I tell them touch living things, touch soft things. Bring that aliveness and livingness in your hand. So I think one I see is the kind of dresses that we wear, like office के dresses इतने tight होते हैं, या फिर there are certain kind of clothes that are meant for office. So we need to also understand that the formula for intimacy is the opposite of formula for success at work. In the sense, what is helping you succeed at work may not help you in your personal life. Personal life is more, I will say that whole, one thing they do is they bring that whole, I will say, load of concerns, office सब घर में ही ले आते हैं. तो वो आपको ध्यान रखना है कि how do you can just take off
Disconnect.
that mental load. Take off that mental load. You need to take off your mental load. Sometimes so it happens in the bed also that they don't even realize, but they are into thinking, अच्छा कल मुझे उठना है, कल मुझे ये करना है, ऐसा करना है, वैसा करना है. So you need to have that stress-free zone, create that zone. I will say when I say zone, you need to create a time bound interval. कि अगर मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ मैं आधा घंटा निकाल रही हूँ पर उस आधे घंटे मैं फुल प्रेजेंस के साथ अपने पार्टनर के साथ रहूंगी तब मेरा कोई डिस्ट्रैक्शन नहीं होगा. So don't set high expectations कि मेरे को ऐसा चाहिए. Just set half an hour with distraction free time. कि this half an hour I'm not going to think about emails. I'm not going to think about kids. I'm not going to think. I'm just going to be here with myself. अगर आप set pleasure करे तो you are just with yourself, or if you're with a partner, so that's the distraction free zone.
How much does meditation help in being more present?
Sorry?
How much would you say meditation would help in being more present?
Yeah, see, I will actually disclose a truth bomb here. I don't I find it difficult meditating in the conventional way. Meditating मतलब आंखें बंद करके करना मेरे से नहीं होता है. But I figured out what is meditation, and what is meditation. You can do it in many ways, not just the standard eye closing practice. So meditation is focus. Okay, focus with awareness कि आप किस पे focus कर रहे हो. That is the I will say the nutshell of meditation is focusing with awareness, like you are aware. So you can meditate through anything that you like. So for example, if you like gardening, so अगर आप gardening कर रहे हो, आप plants को tender कर रहे हो, तो you are just connecting with that. So you have a focused awareness. Or you are dancing, so you are dancing, so you're fully into you're fully into the dance. So
Correct.
that is where I say that yes, एक्चुअली क्या हो रहा है आज के टाइम पे हमारे पास इतने पैरेलल डिस्ट्रैक्शंस हैं. कहीं पे नेटफ्लिक्स चल रहा है, कहीं पे कोई ऐप चल रहा है, कहीं पे कुछ ईमेल आ रहा है, कहीं पे व्हाट्सएप पिंग, सो मेनी नोटिफिकेशंस, जस्ट यू सी द स्क्रीन एंड ऐसे करके
कुछ
इतने
ना कुछ चल
नोटिफिकेशन
ही
आते हैं.
रहता है.
तो इसके लिए और भी ज्यादा जरूरी है कि आई हैव टू काइंड ऑफ clear the clutter, clear the clutter in your life. Focus on clearing the clutter. Meditation is also about clearing the clutter and focusing on what is important.
And that once you start practicing that in other aspects, then that helps you get better and more present in the bedroom as well. Perfect. Perfect. So before we log off, because I know we have very limited time together. Could you tell all the viewers that how can somebody get in touch with you and what are the issues that you can help them solve? So then if anybody's interested because of this conversation, they can probably get in touch with you.
Yeah, so you can check my link in bio. Link in bio, I have put on all the important links and resources, including my website, getintimacy.com, or you can DM me or Pallavi@getintimacy.com. So easy is to reach out to me is through DM. I might take some time because there's a lot of pending DMs, but be rest assured you will get a reply. If you want a faster reply, head on to my website. The link is in bio, and you can directly set up an appointment. You can take up an appointment.
Lovely. And what is what is this target group of people that you usually help, and what is the problem that you usually help them solve?
So these are like from 25 to not 25, I'll say 26, 27 to 43, 44 is the age group I see. Adults, men and women both.
And they usually come as a couple, or is it like a personal thing? What do you experience more?
No, they come as singles, they come as couples, either one of them. Yeah.
Lovely. Perfect. This was great, ma'am. Thank you so much. This was such a good talk, and I'm so glad. I mean, I what I have done mentally is that I have not tried to even relate the word sexual intimacy with the word taboo. So it just becomes so much more easier. So that's why in the conversation I did not intentionally ask you any question about how has it been, how difficult has it been, because I think now we have to stop talking about that. We have to be fluid. You and I both as like fitness or health, wellness coaches, we can always like just not address it and let people know that that's how easy it is and that's how fluid it is, like how you rightly said. Thank you so much for this talk. Thank you so much for spreading more light and awareness on this subject. And I look forward to doing more conversations with you. I think ma'am is stuck. I think the internet connection is bad, but I think we got everything. Oh, there you are.
Yeah. I equally enjoyed the talk. I did a live after many, many months, I will say. So I enjoyed this live. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, ma'am. Bye bye.
Bye bye.